Hey everybody, Joe here with 360 Comics, and in addition to this being a rare Saturday video that we don't do very often, it's also a different and interesting topic. Today, we're bringing you a public service announcement to check your Marvel books. Before we jump into our topic, just a reminder to enter our origin story giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, find our origin story video, and watch it, like it, and leave a comment on that video telling us your origin story. You can win a Spider-Man #1 by Todd McFarlane. Also, don't forget to like and comment on this video and follow us on Instagram. As always, your support is very appreciated. The reason why I wanted to make this video for you guys and make the community aware of this issue is because I started to notice it just over the past few weeks. And the problem at hand is the Marvel books that I'm seeing on the shelves are damaged way more frequently than they normally are. Now, not every book off the shelf is going to be a 9.8. That's just the plain and simple fact. Comic books are made out of paper. They're not really meant to endure that much damage, and the process of shipping them and even packing them and unpacking them, even just putting them from the box onto the shelves, can cause damage, and that's totally normal. But I started to notice that a high percentage, and I'm talking like maybe 80+% of the Marvel comics on the shelf had dinged up corners and, whitening, splitting of the spine more than usual, even some bends and color breaks on current books, which really shouldn't be happening, especially at that kind of rate. When I'm buying new comics, like current runs, I definitely always try to pull out something that I think could get a 9.8. Even stuff that I'm not necessarily going to be submitting in to get graded, I still want to have in good condition just in case, A, the value of it goes up. B, I want to sell it. I'd rather have, a higher value of it. And just, I'm kind of like, really like having a nice looking collection. So I want that higher grade copy. The book that really brought this to my attention was Spider-Man 75, particularly the Gleason variant cover. Obviously, the Gleason cover from, when was it? I guess last year, late last year, sometime last year, the webhead cover of Spider-Man 55. That was a really, really popular cover. Maybe that was earlier this year. Yeah, I digress. Spider-Man 55 was a very popular cover. 75, I think it's not quite as cool, but I think it's really nice. And I was trying to pick up a nice copy of it. I figure it looks nice. I want to get it graded for myself, not necessarily to resell at any point, but I just wanted it. Now, I went to a couple different stores, and there were literally 0 copies that I could find without any visible damage. I did pick up 2 copies of the book, one of them being this one, and you can see there's quite a bit of whitening up in this top corner. It looked like it sustained some kind of a ding up there at one point, just from being in the box and being shipped in the way that I'll show you that they're shipping now, and that's really the public service announcement that I'm making here. And this copy had it kind of on the opposite side. You can see that these pages don't really lie flat. They're really apart. The page starts feathering out. And there's actually a small crease as well on the front cover. Luckily, it doesn't look like it's color breaking, and I think I can press it out. But, it looks like, again, that corner sustained some damage from being, dropped or bumping into something on that side of the book. Now, as far as this cover goes, maybe that's going to make this book in a 9.8 a little bit more rare. So I'm really going to try to find one because I really do want one for myself. And I don't want to have to pay an arm and a leg in order to get a 9.8 copy. And just so you know, I actually went to 4 comic book stores the Wednesday that this came out. And those were the 2 best copies that I could find over the course of those 4 stores. And I wanted to actually get more than 2 copies of this book, but I didn't feel comfortable buying them, in the condition that they were in. The 2 that I got do still have some damage on them. I think that one is pretty negligible and the other is pressable. So I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. But normally you go to one store and you grab your books and you can find a nice copy. That was not the case this week. So that led me to ask an employee why this was the case. Well, this question that I posed to the worker at my LCS really led to a great discussion where I learned a lot about, the shipping of comics, because that's not something that I'm, super knowledgeable about. I've never worked at a comic store. I've never had to stock the shelves at any of them or anything like that. So I didn't really know how things work in that sense. I know, the big name distributors, so if you don't know, basically Diamond is like the big one, but DC has since branched off for just for domestic. So just for within the United States, they're using a different company called Lunar as of about a year ago, and they're still using Diamond for international. And Marvel recently also branched off from Diamond, and they're using a different distributor called Penguin. Now, during this discussion, I kind of got the idea for this video and kept asking some questions. And it turns out that Marvel just started using Penguin as a distributor this month in October 2021. So it makes sense why these flaws in the books are really starting to be prominent now with this new distributor. I was also able to ask for some of the boxes to show as an example, and I've got them right here. So I just want to take a look at the Lunar box first. So this is what DC is using, and it's 2 comics wide. So you can see this is about the height of a comic, and this is the width of 2 comics. So it has 2 stacks of comics in next to each other, kind of lodged together in a really nice way that keeps them from moving around too much in the box. And there's a center divider inside, which keeps them from, I guess, kind of the pages going into the spine of the other books, as well as this probably gives them a little bit more support and flexibility so they're not getting dinged up around the corners. Now, each one of these, actually every 2 of these, gets packed into a larger box, which means that's an extra layer of cardboard, more padding that protects the comics from whatever these boxes might hit into. The same goes for the Diamond boxes. Almost exactly the same size and shape. It looks like a little bit shorter. Maybe they put less comics in here, but this is as tall as a comic is, and this is as wide as 2 comics, so you can fit 2 stacks in there right next to each other with a divider in the middle. And again, every 2 of these are put into a larger box that protects it even more. Now, I think that is particularly important on the corners. The new Marvel distribution service, I was not able to get a box of theirs, but it is basically this box cut in half. Not only is it cut in half, so it only fits 1 stack of comics in there, which maybe does something to they kind of, I guess what the word is, like there's too much stress on certain points. There's not enough mobility as far as being able to, or sorry, rather there's too much mobility, which causes stress on the corners of the box. But not only that, they're actually shipped just in 1 box, not in 2. Like I said, with Diamond and Lunar, 2 of these are put into a bigger box. Well, sorry, that was kind of loud. With the Penguin boxes that Marvel's using currently, they are not double packed into a bigger box, which that's less protection, less of a layer around them, and it's much easier for those corners to get, dinged in. And for anyone who's ordered comics online and had them shipped to their house, nothing is scarier than seeing a box that has been, dinged on a corner. It's crunched in. It looks like kind of a crushed soda can. Nothing is scarier than that. Sometimes you open it up and the book's A-okay and there's no issue. Other times you open it up and the corners are, it looks awful. Book goes from being near mint plus, all the way down to, a mid-grade with that. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you often, but I know it's happened to me before. And that is kind of what's happening with these Marvel books right now. Now, I just talked to a LCS employee today, and what he told me is that Marvel addressed this problem and said that they are going to be, well, not Marvel, but Penguin rather, is going to be shipping in a different way. I think putting 2 boxes inside of a bigger box, like Lunar and Diamond do, and they're going to be protecting their books a bit more. And I was a little bit concerned because, assuming that Penguin has all these boxes ready, I thought we were going to have to wait out them using these boxes before they move to a different plan, but it seems like they realized the problem and they're fixing it now. So, as far as books that have come out so far in October, you really should check those corners, especially if it's a book that you want to get graded someday or you think might be a good, speculation piece or whatever. Definitely check those books more than you usually do. And that's what I'm here saying today. Be careful, be aware of this. Be knowledgeable about it. I think that, passing on this knowledge is a good thing for the community. And tell your friends. Let them know, like, if they're picking out a Marvel book, check those corners, the back, the front, the cover, the inside, everything. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit of a different style than usual. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell for notifications, a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment below. Let me know if you found value in this video and if I should do more kind of PSA style videos like this in the future. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.